Fan sues NFL for $100 million over Shedeur Sanders' draft position, citing emotional distress. In an unprecedented and unusual legal move, a self-proclaimed die-hard fan of quarterback Shedeur Sanders has filed a federal lawsuit against the National Football League, demanding a staggering $100 million in damages. The reason? The emotional turmoil he claims to have suffered when Sanders was selected far later in the 2025 NFL draft than widely expected. Identifying himself only as John Doe, in court filings, the 55-year-old Georgia-based logistics business owner alleges that the NFL caused him severe emotional distress and trauma by allowing Sanders, once touted as a potential top 5 pick, to fall to the 5th round, where he was ultimately selected 144th overall by the Cleveland Browns. It was immediate frustration, Doe told The Independent in an exclusive interview, requesting anonymity to avoid unwanted attention on his business. This guy was projected to be the 1st or 2nd pick, no later than the top 5, and to watch mediocre players be chosen before him, it was frustrating. Doe described the NFL draft as a monumental milestone in a player's career and accused league owners of orchestrating a behind-the-scenes scheme to collectively snub Sanders. To have all the NFL owners collude and not draft him, it was mentally frustrating and debilitating, he said. They think there's no recourse, but this has to stop. Shedeur Sanders, a standout quarterback at the University of Colorado and the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders, was widely hyped in the lead-up to the draft. Yet his actual selection came as a surprise to many, as analysts and fans expected him to be chosen much earlier. Reports emerged after the draft suggesting that Sanders had turned off potential teams with his attitude, with one NFL executive saying Sanders behaved as if he were being recruited, rather than interviewed. Still, some supporters, and Doe among them, suspect that Sanders' slide was not merely about attitude. Doe's lawsuit claims that Sanders was the victim of a coordinated effort among NFL team owners to hurt his draft stock, possibly in retaliation for Deion Sanders' outspoken and high-profile promotion of his son. NFL legend Cris Carter publicly refuted the idea of collusion, telling the Art of Dialogue podcast that the Sanders family had overplayed their hand during the pre-draft process. Representing himself, Doe filed the suit on May 2 in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia, claiming multiple legal violations including antitrust breaches under the Sherman Act, racial discrimination, defamation, and unfair business practices. His filing accuses the NFL of manipulating the draft process and promoting damaging narratives about Sanders, claims that he argues inflicted significant psychological harm on him as a devoted fan. The NFL's decisions may have been influenced by racial discrimination, violating Sanders' rights, the complaint reads. The dissemination of slanderous statements has caused severe emotional distress and trauma to the plaintiff, resulting in frustration, disappointment, and psychological harm as a fan. Doe cites Sanders' college debut on September 2, 2023, against Texas Christian University as the beginning of his admiration for the quarterback. He says he was in attendance and was blown away by Sanders' talent. From there, he became a dedicated follower of both the player and the University of Colorado football program. Beyond the $100 million in damages for his alleged emotional suffering, Doe is also demanding a formal apology from the NFL, a public retraction of negative remarks about Sanders, and reforms to ensure a more transparent and equitable draft process in the future. However, legal experts are highly skeptical of Doe's case. UCLA law professor Eugene Volokh, writing for Reason, predicted the suit will be dismissed outright, calling the emotional distress claim frivolous, and noting that Doe, as a fan with no direct stake in the NFL or Sanders' career, lacks legal standing. Still, Doe remains undeterred. He told The Independent that the $100 million figure was based on both his personal distress and the estimated financial losses Sanders may have incurred due to his lower draft position. NFL veteran Cris Carter previously speculated that Sanders could have lost as much as $50 million in potential earnings because of his draft status. Asked whether he would share any winnings with Sanders if he were to prevail, Doe said he might donate part of it to local youth football organizations instead. He emphasized that his motivations are rooted in justice and fan advocacy, not financial gain. I believe the NFL needs to be on alert, he said. They think they can just do whatever they want. But I want people to know that they have power to. The court system exists for this reason, to be heard. As for now, Doe is searching for legal representation to help him pursue the case. Whether the courts will entertain such an unconventional claim remains to be seen. Would you like a shorter version as well?